Right. Hello, everybody. Today is such an exciting day for Lindsay and I. If you guys do not know, Lindsay and I co-wrote a book together called Zenith, Part 1, the Androma Saga, and we're just so excited that it's finally out today in your guys' hands. See, Lindsay has it up, right?
Maybe. It's my phone.
It's on your phone. It's your background. I love it. I love it. So, Lindsay, do you want to talk a little bit about yourself? Because you have some books, don't you?
Sure. So I am Lindsay Cummings, also known as Suzanne Collins. That would be a dream. I am 25, really depressing about that.
Oh my God, shut up.
I write the Murder Complex series for HarperCollins and also the Balance Keepers series for HarperCollins. And now co-author the Androma Saga with Sasha Alsberg. And it's out today, and people are loving it, and I'm so excited.
I know, it's so exciting having this thing happen because, for me, I've never written a book. I've written, short stories, a ton of times, but, actually writing a book is such an amazing experience and different experience as well. And, I wouldn't have wanted to do it with anybody else besides Lindsay. Lindsay and I met 3 years ago almost. And,
yeah.
I remember we actually found the first email she sent me, which was hey, would you like an arc of the Murder Complex? And I still have the arc today, and it just has, blown up from there. And I remember we used to always joke about writing a book together. We're always yeah, we should write a book together, but we never thought anything would come about it, and now it has, and it's crazy.
I was telling my husband this morning, I was we just wanted to write Zenith for fun. It was not supposed to become a thing.
Yeah.
And now it's blown up kind of, and that just blows my mind. And people like it. So far they're actually really liking it. So
exactly. And it's insane how much has come about this. Now Lindsay and I are part of the same literary agency, New Leaf Media and literary stuff. And I'm so just happy of how everything's turned out, and being agency sisters is also awesome. And just this whole entire thing is such an amazing experience, especially because Lindsay, it's kind of funny how this worked out. Lindsay got her first agent and started queuing for her first book when she was 19. And I'm 19, I got my first agent, and now we're doing Zenith. So it's so insane.
I love it. It's so cute. It's just fun because okay, I'll put it this way. I was actually talking about this the other day too. I have some friends that are in a band, and they're 2 girls, and they're in a band together, and I always see them playing together and writing songs, and I'm oh, I want a female friendship like that. And then my husband was babe, that's you and Sasha, you're writing this series together, and y'all are doing the same thing. And I was
the exact same thing. Yeah, it is so amazing, and I just love it. It's such a great experience. And even though Lindsay's older than I am, and I picture Lindsay as my sister and one of my best friends, and it's amazing being this close with somebody and being able to write something together, because we really work well together. So before we get into the questions, why don't we talk a little bit about Zenith and what it's all about? Lindsay, do you want to kind of give them the elevator pitch?
Oh gosh. Before this went live, we were both talking about we hate giving elevator pitches.
I know, it's so hard because this book has so much in it that it's hard to condense it down to 2 minutes of explaining.
Okay, I will start off, and then you can just go off of it with all details that I'm sure to miss. So it's set in the Mirabel Galaxy, which is a fictional galaxy that we made up. And it takes place 20 years after the Galactic War. This awful war between the main planets of the galaxy and this faraway planet called Zenterra. And our main character is named Andy. She's this awesome female space pirate, and she's the captain of the Marauder, which is this all-glass starship. And Andy and her space pirating crew are out doing space piratey things when one day they are picked up and basically captured by a bounty hunter from Andy's past. His name is Dex. And
they are forced into a job they never expected to be forced into, because it's all about finding a certain somebody who's been lost for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's about them kind of figuring out the galaxy in a way that they never have seen it before. And it's about Andy having to work together with somebody that she absolutely despises. And also about just different characters in their lives within the Mirabelle and how insanely crazy and evil they are. So it's such a fun story to like weave and create and just explore, because when you're writing a like fictional work, it's up to you to decide what happens next and how it's created. And I think that Lindsay and I, like, none of us are like science majors. Like, we aren't very, like, I'm pretty good with like, you know, astronomy and science, but like not so good. So it's been a learning process to kind of make the story realistic and how everything should happen and how everything should look, like with the solar systems and the galaxies. And it's been really fun, and it's been a learning experience, I think, for the both of us.
Yeah, I think that's the cool part of getting to co-write with someone, is like when you are stuck on something or you're like totally fresh out of ideas, you have that other person who's like, oh, no, I got it. And then you just bounce off of each other, and it's awesome. We also forgot to mention Nor, our evil villain.
Oh my gosh, Nora is insane.
She's crazy.
She's crazy, but in the best way possible, because she's crazy, but with a reason.
Yes, she's the leader of Zenterra, our like kind of evil-ish planet.
Yeah, and it's up to you guys, the readers, to figure out which side you want to take in the story, because none of the sides are good and none of them are completely evil. They have both their sides, and they're all a little bit evil, all a little bit good, but everybody has their reasons and their motivations to do what they do in this galaxy, and it's insane, it's bloody, it's crazy, and it's fun. That's the most important thing. It's fun to read about, because I feel like readers can really get immersed in this world, because it reads like a fantasy, but it's a science fiction novel.
Mm-hmm. I really hope so. I think that was kind of our goal too, because like I was actually a book blogger before I became an author. Mm-hmm. And Sasha, exactly the same thing.
Yep.
And so like we know books, like we read YA obsessively, yeah. And now like putting those two fangirls together is like the perfect combination.
Yeah, because we're like, we don't want any special snowflakes in our books. We don't want like Andy to have like be like this really like special character that has nothing wrong with her. We want her to have like her demons. We want her to be evil. We want her to be bloody and have blood on her hands, because she is like that. And that's realistic. We're trying to make this world the most realistic we can possible while still a fictional based setting. Mm-hmm. And I think that like having that background of reading so many books, we kind of know what you guys want to see and we know what we want to do. So mm-hmm. having those two mediums really helps. So that being said, do you want to get into the questions? If you guys want to ask us questions for this live show, ask them either down below or ask them in on Twitter. That's what we're taking the questions off of first, Twitter, with the Zenith book hashtag. So go check it out. Okay, so the first question I have here is, how long did it take you to write it? So we were working on it. Like, we got the first idea for Zenith in, was it October or November?
I don't know. We were just looking back through text the other day, but I feel like we didn't really start fully drafting mm-hmm. until like, I mean, it only took us like, what, 3-4 months to really settle down and knock it out.
Yeah, and we've had a lot of time. It was really tough to get it all figured out, but it worked out really well. I think we started actually writing it and getting it figured out and structured in January. And since it's only part 1, it actually took pretty fast, because we got it structured out and it's only like 100 pages. So like it wasn't like a full book. So getting it published and getting it out there was actually cut in half with like what it usually would be with a novel. And so, yeah, so we started working on it like October, November, but we didn't actually start writing it until January.
That's right. Yeah, we took a little break so we could actually plot it out, because there are different types of writers. There's like plotters and pantsers, and I hate plotting.
Same.
Like, it's such a struggle. But when you're working with like two minds, it's really, really important to make sure you have everything on track. So we have most of our work, honestly, like the time that we spend is sitting on Skype, like talking about ideas and where it's going. Like we will spend hours doing that. And
yeah, we've worked a lot on this, just like every single day. Like I'm in college, I'm a full-time college student, but no matter what, we always like had time to like work on it every day, no matter what I had to do or no matter what Lindsay had to do. And like, because Lindsay like literally she runs a farm, so she has a lot to do, which is really cool. So we both have our things that we need to do, but we always find time to get everything worked out with Zenith, because it's important and we love doing it. And it's just been a whirlwind, like extreme, like crazy experience that I'm just so grateful to be part of.
Yeah, it still blows my mind, like that it's become so big, like that people are reading it. Like I'm surprised that anyone's reading it. Like,
I know. I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful for all you guys. And like when you read it, guys, we highly recommend that you go to Amazon and write a review on it, because the more reviews it gets on Amazon, the more publishers will see it and will stand out. And then you guys will get to purchase it in bookstores if that happens. So please do it for us. Please write us a review on Amazon, and let's fingers crossed that a publisher will pick it up, because we're putting it out to the publishers very soon.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question that I have on Twitter is, I'm just going up from like the most old ones to the most recent, is do you know how many parts there will be in this novel? So, Lindsay?
So the thing we kind of didn't touch on this earlier is that Zenith is serialized. So our plan is to release it like in small chunks at a time. So part 1 that's out right now is like your first, like 1/4 of the book. So it's either going to be in like between 3 to 5 parts. We aren't really entirely able to tell you.
Because we're all like we're not really plotters. We just like, when the story comes to us, it'll come. And right now we're thinking 4 parts. But you know what? If we have more of a story to tell and it needs a 5th part, we might as well do that, because we don't want to restrict ourselves.
It'll be, whatever the story and the plot requires is what we'll make happen.
Yeah, and the reason that we're not publishing it as a physical copy with each part is because it's mainly for you guys, because we do not want to charge you $7 to $8 on a pamphlet book that's like 100 pages long, because we don't feel like that's worth it all, and we do not want you guys to spend money that you don't need to be spending right away, and it just to like be for you guys. I don't think it's worth spending like $8 for like 4 parts. That's way more money than I think that is necessary for this. And it's mainly just for you guys. So wanted to make that clear.
And it's cool because like as we're writing the book, then we get to put the parts out there.
Yeah.
That being said, if a publisher like picks it up, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we don't know if it'll be in parts anymore, but for sure it'll be out there for you guys.
Really excited.
Yeah, we're just really excited, and this is just such an amazing experience for us. And like we said before, this was not something that we wanted to plan as a big business scheme. It's just us as friends wanting to create a world together, and I'm so excited that we got to do it.
Me too.
So I know, yay! So #Alsberg Cummings. So the next one is, do you think Zenith will ever be an audiobook? I would love it to be an audiobook, guys. Like I love my audiobooks.
Yeah. Oh, I do too, because we live so far out in the middle of nowhere that I listen to about an audiobook every 2 weeks. So I think it'd be amazing. I wonder how they do it, because we have so many characters. Like, I think it'd be cool to have a diverse cast. Wouldn't that be fun?
That'd be so much fun. And girl, you got nothing on me. I live out in the middle, not really nowhere, but I live in the suburbs. But I read I listen to like 2 audiobooks like in a week or 2.
They're fun. You can
but
like
just because I like doing it.
Yeah, I enjoy reading them, and I've found that like a book that I might not have liked reading in print format, I like will fall in love with it when I'm listening to it on audio. It's really strange.
Yeah, exactly. So if you guys want Audible, I have an affiliates link down below. Not sponsored. No, I seriously think that is great. Like I first got my Audible account through Tyler Oakley's affiliates link, and I'm so happy that happened.
Awesome.
So the next one is, will there be a sequel in the future?
Well, there will be many sequels.
Yeah.
Got it. We can say that it's not just planned out to be like one book. We have lots of potential for the future, but I think that's really all we're allowed to talk about right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of expansion that we've been plotting and brainstorming, and we're excited to let you guys know in the future how many parts it'll be, like how many books it'll be, and really if your response is great for it, if you guys love the book series, if you love it, that means more like, you know, books for you guys.
More books.
So the next one is, oh, this one's for me. It's like, how does it feel? This is from the Androma Saga News on Twitter. Thanks, girl. Or guy. I'm not sure who made it, but how does it feel knowing that this is your very first book? It feels so great. It feels so great because I really feel confident about it, and I just love it. And just letting you guys, this is just like a sneak peek, this first part into this world. Like, it gets so, like, even if you guys think this part's cool, like, it gets so epic, and that's the best part about it. Like, Lindsay and I have been like plotting, and like because we had to, like, our agents were like, okay, it's time to start getting the outline done and the synopsis. So we've been working on it like day in and day out, and like I'm just so excited for you guys to read the rest of it. And so letting this be like my first book is so rewarding, and I feel so happy about it.
I'll say the cool thing, like to answer that from my perspective, to watch you.
Yeah.
Because like I've had my debuts, like I've done it before, and I remember when you printed off all the Zenith swag, and then you went to BookCon, and I called you, remember? And I was like, hey, how'd it go? And you were just like, oh my gosh, there was a signing line, and like people actually cared, and like they were so excited, and so
it was great. It's so grateful seeing that. Like honestly, saying that like we had to cap the line at a couple hundred people because it was so long, and I never expected that. And so you guys are so freaking cool, and getting to let Lindsay know about that so she couldn't be there was so awesome, because it's better than being like, oh, you know, like 1 or 2 people showed up, because you know, people show up. Like, don't be like humble and be like, oh, you know, like, you know, if 1 or 2 people showed up, that'd be great. But like, that would be great. Any number of people who showed up is great, but having a couple hundred, that like almost made me cry.
I know.
Cool. You guys are awesome. So the next one I see here is when is the next part coming out? Because Isabel, she's already finished it and she needs more. To be determined. We don't have a date set yet.
Yeah, we don't have. That's one of the things, is like there's a lot of secret stuff kind of going on behind the scenes with our agents and us, and so we can't really like give total details right now. But when we're allowed to, you guys will find out. We'll be super excited.
Exactly. So
it's in the works. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, it's in the works. So Ashley asks, what character is your favorite to write about, develop, etc.?
Ooh.
I know who mine is. I just love writing Nora's, because Nora is so complex. It's like all these characters are complex, but like Nora's mindset is very hard to do because she's insane, but her insanity has to have a reason. And so I find that so much fun to kind of write out what her reason is and what's her reasoning, and kind of like plot her backstory. Like Lindsay and I sat down for a good 3 hours one day. We just plotted not any of the characters, but their parents and like their like planet's history, and we plotted out what happened before. And so like Nora has a lot to do with that, so her character has so many links to different parts, and so it was so much fun to like develop Nora. How about you?
I think that's a good like writing tip also that you just said, like that we went so deep as to like plot the characters' parents' backstories and the planet backstories. And like if you guys are working on a book, don't forget, like, go that far back in the past. Like you don't have to ever reveal that stuff in the book, but for you as the author to know that stuff will just really deepen everything. For me, I'm just gonna go typical on this. I just love Andy. Like I feel like Andy also is kind of like Nora, because kind of like she's the heroine, but she's also kind of nuts. Like
she's also a villain in a sense. Like ask somebody in the galaxy about what she's done to them directly. She would be seen as a villain. She would be seen as somebody who deserved jail.
She's known as the Bloody Baroness because she just goes around, it's like killing people that get in her way, and she's really kind of this like unstoppable space pirate that's like this air of mystery about her. And they've been trying to catch her for years, but in book 1 or part 1, they finally do catch her, and you get to see that there are regrets. Like Andy is a wounded person, but she is very strong at the same time. And so I think that's fun for us too, to be able to kind of pick at the little things.
And like the thing about Andy is that, she does all this bad stuff, but like she feels like since she's done it already, like it doesn't really matter anymore. But it also matters still, because it'll always matter. And so she does have remorse, but it doesn't completely check with her right away, because she cares so much about her like crew and her group that like anybody in her way with like hurting them or anybody else, she's like, no, this is my family, don't hurt them. So it's like Andy's so much fun to write. Can we hint at what to expect in part 2? I try to think of something that's like really good, but expect a journey.
Total journey.
We have a really great scene in the next part, guys. Like it's so, Lindsay, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, we have been, I think it's probably the one that we're most excited to write out of like the whole thing.
It's fun. It's so fun, but also crazy and exciting. So we're really excited to write a certain scene in the next part. Each like part has a great scene in it. Like, I mean, we like to think that all the scenes are really good, but like each part has like this explosive scene that really makes it stand out. Yeah, exactly. So
I think Oh, I don't know. I'm just, we can't say, but I'm just
No.
so excited. Yeah. And
So
the thing that we love was like totally agent approved. So it's like gonna be there. I'm
it's great, and agent approved really matters because our agents are really hard on us, but in the best way possible. Like Joe and Pete are the best agents ever. We love them, and we call all of us Team Z.
yes. It's so
Um, so this one is pretty good. So will there be a pronunciations video or live show that will explain all the names in? We'll be doing a video actually, since we'll both be at Leviosa and Las Vegas together. Next month we'll be doing a video where we pronounce the names for you guys because that's needed. And we do not have a pronunciation guide in the book because we wanted to do a video on it.
Yeah, we're gonna do a video, and then at some point we'll probably also add that to our website. The Androma, however you want to say it, saga.com. We're gonna put like fun map stuff on there too.
Yeah, there's gonna be lots of extras, guys, so stay tuned to the site for lots of fun stuff. And also sign up for our newsletter because we have so much fun with that.
We do. I love that. It's like cool inside scoop to like our process and friendship, and
we're like crazy. It's really just like a blog. Like it's like a text message stream between Lindsay and I of us just like going back and forth. So we think it's fun. So the next question I have is okay. Do you plan on making Zenith a physical book? Of course, we definitely do, but right now it's just an ebook. We've been asked this question a lot, and one of the things that I think it's great that you guys want a physical book. Thank you so much, but as of right now, we don't even have any ideas as to when it will be a physical book because we're hoping like the next year or so, but like honestly, we don't know because it's up to the publishers who hopefully will pick up the book, or up to us if we still keep on self-publishing.
Everything is kind of up in the air, and that's why like we appreciate so much like the people that have actually purchased copies, because like it's so strange to be so excited and like jump in on a book that's like just a portion of a story, and then just have to sit there and wait, not knowing like when's the next part coming out, like when is the full thing going to be done. So I think that's the coolest part, is like that people are actually kind of going with us on this journey. I don't know, it just blows my mind. Like it's so strange, but I'm so happy about it.
Yeah, it's so exciting, and like honestly, I'm just this is such an exciting experience. So this is pretty good. So Ashley asks, what are some pros and cons about being co-authors?
Ooh, Sasha's cray.
I'm crazy, and Lindsay's covered in horse poo all the time. I will never let you live that down.
I know. I'm still waiting on like my revenge on you.
What revenge? Who can take revenge on this gal?
I think the best part, shut up. The best part is that obviously like we're friends. Like it's not just a business thing for us. Like
no.
We are invested in each other. We're invested in the series. And we work so well together. Like, of course, when we started writing, we probably both were like, yeah, let's write a book together, but not knowing how that other person was going to write and how our styles were going to mesh was kind of scary. But once we actually started writing, it was almost like we were the same voice. Like this, it was so strange.
I know, and like it just really worked out well. Like it's hard to think of any cons. I think the one con would be not even like us as people, just as our locations, like where we are, because Lindsay lives in Texas, I live in Chicago, and then in Boston and during the school year. So like we live so far away from each other, but with like the use of Skype and Google Hangouts and doing all that stuff, it really does help. But it's sad not being able to like just sit next to her and type, because that would have been really cool. But
it was so nice to just like sit down together, not on a computer. And like when you make me mad, I could literally just slap you.
Yeah, that'd be so great. I mean that would like really work out well.
And also we're always like eating when we're on Skype. Like we each have our own snacks. We're like, what are you eating?
Yeah, what are you eating? And then I'm always like, I'm making potatoes.
It would be nice to share our snacks.
Yeah, I know, right? And like half the time, like I don't know what, but like I have a bladder of a chihuahua, so I always need a pee. So like I literally leave the live show like 4 times, like in the 3-hour live show, I'm sending a pee, and I'm like, Lindsay, I swear I don't have like a dysfunctional bladder. It's just like I drink a lot of water.
I'm nervous here. Oh man, please don't tell me you just froze. Come back. Okay, well, if I'm the only one on, guys, I don't know how I'm gonna carry this. But if Sasha is the only one on and I'm the one frozen, then I just look like a fool. And it's probably frozen in like some hideous face because that always happens. I'm gonna text her and find out what's going on. What happened? What if I'm frozen to her and she's frozen to me and no one knows what's happening? It's like the ultimate mystery. Although this would be a great time to eat this brownie that's been sitting here. I've been waiting and waiting to eat this brownie this whole live show. Okay, I'm investigating. If you're still here, I'm not gonna eat this brownie. Oh, she's gone. Okay, we're gonna try it again. Sorry guys. No idea what's happening. Okay, I would imagine that we're probably going to exit out of this one and go back in. Is anyone still here? If you're still here, like, will you tweet me at Lindsay or at author Lindsay and then the letter C? I'm gonna know if this is like my Wi-Fi or Sasha's Wi-Fi. I think it's Sasha's. This would be a great time for me to tell you guys a really, really embarrassing story about Sasha. Oh, there's hundreds. Yes, everyone's still here. No, it's just awkward. Thanks guys for like, I feel like I'm on Periscope, but you guys can't like send me the little hearts that make me feel like a princess. Okay, so funny story while we're waiting on Sasha. If you guys have been following this from the beginning, one time we're like on Skype and we were like, we need a name for a really, really hot guy. And yes, she's texting me, are you still on? I'm telling them about Altoid. Come back. Okay. So Sasha, being Sasha, because I told you guys like she's nuts, but like in a really good way. That you can say these things about your best friends. She was like, oh,
I'm back.
Yay, she's here. Oh my
dad's here too. My dad's been in the room the whole entire time. Sorry, the Wi-Fi just like cut out. We don't know why.
Figured. Hi, Dad.
Hi.
Wait, can you like, do I come on the screen?
Yeah, I can see you. I can see you.
Okay, cool. Okay, guys, back to what we were doing before.
I was just starting to tell people about the history behind Altoid.
Oh my God, Altoid. I'm still so bitter that you would not let me name him Altoid.
Sasha wanted to name, long story short, she wanted to name the hot guy Altoid. Like, it was a total joke.
Come on, it's so great. Like, I still think that, like, you know, that was going to be Valen. Valen's, because we were brainstorming Valen. And we're like, we want the hot guy because, like, you know, all the guys in our book are hot guys, actually. Come on, every book. But, like, we really wanted to, at least I really wanted to name him Altoid because I was like, hey, that's a funny name.
Can people can send hearts on this thing?
Really?
Yeah, is there a chat?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Where's the chat?
Oh, it's in the chat is down below. So I usually go on my phone and like see I'm about to go on the phone.
This is disabled.
It's just disabled. Right now there's a Orange is the New Black commercial playing, so I need to get on there. Okay, so next I'm gonna answer another question.
Yeah, let's continue on.
Have you considered a possible book tour?
We are having a blog tour right now.
Yeah.
It's not as cool as like a in-person tour, but it's pretty close. It's fun to have people do like blog posts. I'm trying to pull up the live show on my phone.
Yeah. it's still really fun, like having, I don't know if you guys can see my face. I think you can only see like Lindsay's.
No,
And now you can see. I want to see if it changes because I'm looking at you right now.
Am I beautiful?
Yeah, no, I have to like switch between us now. Like see what's you, and then I think I click on me.
Do you think I'm really pretty?
It's only your face, Lindsay. Okay, I'm gonna cut out and then I'm gonna come back in, guys. So Lindsay, answer the question, have you considered a possible book tour, and tell them about the book tour.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll be back, okay?
Get out of here.
Bye.
Okay, so answer questions. I'm on no sleep, guys. Like none. I was so stoked about the book coming out. I'm also touching my face a lot. I think I do that. So book tour.
Okay, I think this is good now. Yep, it's good. It's back. It's
okay.
normal.
So I don't know, that's something that we would do if a publisher picked us up, or once we had like the full print book to be able to like sell person and sign.
That'll be really cool. Like I would love that, to be able to go on a book tour. But also, if you guys do want to see us this summer, we are going on a kind of, not really book tour, but like we're going to lots of events. Like tonight I'm leaving for Anaheim, California to go to VidCon, and then after that we'll both be at Leviosa Con, which is in Las Vegas, and it's a Harry Potter convention, but authors are going there, and it's gonna be really fun. And then after that I'll be at San Diego Comic-Con.
If you guys have not signed up for Leviosa and you are like near Vegas, we are having a panel, like Sarah J. Maas is going to be there, Susan Dennard, Victoria Aveyard, whatever. There's going to be so many cool authors, but Sasha and I have a panel together, and we're going to be talking about Zenith, and it's quite possible that we're going to be cosplaying our own characters at set. So you should come. You could sign up for like a day pass to Leviosa. Yes, that's all.
All the information for our panels is on my website. I'm not sure if it's on your website, but all the panel information for us is like under abookutopia.com, and then go to the events tab, and then it'll be there for my panels. And for Lindsay's panels, I bet she will tweet out a link for her panels.
Yeah, and it's also on. We're actually going to update that on the Androma Saga.
Yeah, so stay tuned for our website and all those places. So this next question is from Lee, and she asks, what is the hardest decision to make about the book? I know what this one probably was. What a certain climactic point of this book is.
Yes.
Like a certain climactic point of this book was really difficult, and it still is difficult because like we want it to be perfect. So all the planning that's going into it is really hard because we have to do lots of research. Because it's not like a fantasy novel, because sometimes I wish I was kind of like a fantasy novel where you could just make up like a spell or something, and that could be like, that's the only explanation you need. Oh, it's magic. But for this, it has to be science-based.
It is science, and science is a jerk, we're discovering.
Yeah.
It is.
My dad has like gotten lots of good ideas, right, Dad? He's helped out a lot.
He actually has, yeah. He was good.
He's so smart. Like he was like a computer genius. He still is a computer genius, and like he worked at cybersecurity, and my dad is so cool. I'm his cheerleader, just like he's mine. We actually dedicated Zenith to our fathers. So
yes.
Read our acknowledgements, guys. It's really funny.
Yeah, they are funny. I'm excited about that too.
So next one. Okay, this one's a good one. It's advice. So do you have any advice for aspiring authors? I really enjoy writing, but I keep calling my story and writing crap. Well, technically, this is saying that. Yeah. Okay. Honestly,
their writing is crap.
Yeah, I think that's what she meant. Honestly, write whatever. Just keep on writing. That's all I can recommend. Keep on writing, and even though you think it's crap, just keep on writing, and you'll learn from what you do. Like you'll learn from your past mistakes, and it's not even mistakes. It's just learning. It's a process.
Yeah, I can say with lots of experience to back it up that a lot of writing is crap at first, and that doesn't mean that you should stop writing. Like I can tell you that every single first draft that I've ever written has been something that I am ashamed of and would not want to put out to the public. But that's where like editing comes in, and you make it better and better. And again, like Sasha said, you just learn. Every time you get onto that story and you start working on it, you improve it. And you might take a couple steps back, but eventually you're going to continue taking steps forward. And also, don't be afraid to take input from people. Like, it's really, really important to get other eyes on your story because you are so close to it. And this is something that Sasha and I ran into with Zenith, is we had been working on part 1 for so long that it really, we stopped seeing the problems with it because so like hyper focused on it. And so when our agents finally came in and started reading for us, we were able to get notes back and really make changes. And so don't be afraid to let people read your work. And
don't be scared, and go to people that you trust, not people like, for example, as a writing student in college, I always go to my roommate Teresa whenever I write something, because you don't want to go to somebody that like you just met and like doesn't really know you. Go to people that know you, and like it helps when you go to a person who already knows what writing entails and what it means. And see, I know that when Lindsay and I were stuck with Zenith, I remember I was in my dorm room and like I was like, Teresa, does this make sense? Does this word sound good? Like, does this, like, you have to bounce ideas off of other people. And I know that when Lindsay and I were really stuck on a part of Zenith, we went to JD Netto, who is our friend and cover designer, and he's also an author, and he helped us kind of work the problem through. So having agents and friends and just people there for you, like, is always great. And even if the person that's there for you does not necessarily write books or know what writing is like includes, they still know from a reader's perspective. So it always helps.
I'm like haunting the live chat right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Twitter. So, was it stressful writing Zenith, or did you mostly like flow through it? It was not stressful at the beginning, but now it's super stressful.
Yeah, I would say, like, because we said earlier, we touched on this, and if you like just came in, do the Running Man challenge. I love it. We didn't think that this was going to be like a serious thing. Like, we just wanted to write it for fun, just to like do it on the side and just kind of enjoy writing together. And then suddenly, like, Sasha got an agent and I got a new agent, and it was just like everything got ramped up. And then we decided to really just like push it and take it seriously. And that's when it started becoming stressful. And that's not a bad thing. Like, it's incredible to have that stress, because without it, it would mean that people didn't care.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing that I always think is that it's gonna be stressful, putting out a submission to publishers. But honestly, for example, it's okay if YouTubers get offered book deals. That's fine. I don't really care. But like, for me, I want to be able to say, like, you know what? Lindsay and I went through the whole entire process of getting a book published, and the stress and the effort to get it approved by a publisher, because I love getting experience from things. I don't know about you guys, but I know that I love experience, and I know that Lindsay's been through submission multiple times, and it's stressful, it's hard, but it's rewarding at the end. And I think that's the feeling that you just want to hope for, just being like, you know what, I did this and I'm proud.
Yeah, it's so cool, because a lot of people don't realize, like, your agent doesn't just send out your book and then you get a publishing deal. Like, there are hundreds of books and hundreds of authors that have really good agents, and their books get sent out to publishers and they never get a deal and they never make it.
Exactly. And like, you need to learn that, like, even if you get denied a few times, did you know that like Marie Lou, she was like denied like a lot of times, and it was on like, she was starting to get really down about it, but then like last minute she got a publishing deal, and now she's a huge author. So there's always hope. Just stay positive. And it also helps having Lindsay, because if I'm ever feeling down, or like if somebody gets me down about the book or whatever, I just go to her, and having that support system there, like, is really nice to have.
That's the coolest part about having a co-author, is like, you don't have to face any of it alone. You never do have to face it alone, but when you write a book, it's like a piece of your soul, like, put into words.
We're sharing a baby.
Exactly. Like,
that's what it is.
We're sharing a really hot baby.
Yeah, and really epic and bloody baby. That sounds so bad.
People are like, man, I'm gonna leave this chat now.
Ooh, somebody asked, so this is from Sweets, and they asked, this is very important. Do you both have a type of music or specific songs you listen to when writing? Yeah. Lindsay, I know you have like a soundtrack on Spotify, correct?
I do, yeah. I have a Zenith soundtrack that I put on there. Did you freeze again? Oh, okay, you're back. I was about to.
Wait, was I freezing, or was I just?
No, you're good. You're good. I have. Sorry. Someone just said we look really tired, and I was like, oh, thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Every woman's dream.
No, actually, like every author's dream. You look very tired. It's like, yeah, I know. I haven't slept in a few days.
Yeah, exactly. I can't focus if I'm writing and there's lyrics to a song, so I listen to a lot of like scores from video games. Like I love the Assassin's Creed score. I love film scores, like anything that's just like epic and has no words. But it can have like women in the background that are like, oh.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I like that. I like Lindsay has a great Spotify playlist. I've listened to it once or twice. But me, I like listen to Celtic bagpipe or like just Celtic music and mystical music. And even though that has like really nothing inspirational with Zenith, I still listen to it and I'm like, yeah, I like this. It's very neat. Somebody actually, this is a very important question that has been frequented in the chat. It's like, is there any persons of color or LGBTQ characters in Zenith? So, right, I don't want to spoil any characters for you guys or like. We do plan on having LGBTQ characters, but as of right now in Zenith, like as you guys will see with the first part, oh yeah, we have characters of color. Dex, he's described as having honey colored skin. Dex is of mixed race, actually. And I've like really envisioned all these characters. I've like drawn them and everything. And then Lear, all the characters on Adhira, like all the civilians there, they're all colored. They're not just like persons of color, like our colors that we have in our world. They're like
blue,
like blue and green, and they're all different colors. And
color.
Yeah, so we definitely have different. And like Nora, she's we based her like she is of Indian descent. If you were gonna put her in our world, and we just wanted to have as many diverse characters as we can possible. And like Zenith, I'm not Zenith.
The world is like.
Yeah, that's how the world is. It needs to be realistic, and even though this is a fictional world, we can even make like all these like persons of color and LGBTQ characters even like a bigger thing than what they usually are in our society, because that's what they deserve. They deserve to be represented, and I just love that. So, of course, we're gonna have these characters in our novels, and like we with the cyborgs, we like some of the cyborgs are like Androminus, and like I just love that.
Yeah, we have like I think you guys are gonna like Alfie's character. You'll meet Alfie at the very end of part 1, and you'll get to see a lot more of Alfie later on. I'm excited.
Yeah. Alfie's really cool. I loved Alfie, and like and you guys will love Alfie. But like yeah, I think that any book, it needs to be represented, not just those types of characters, but also characters need to have acne and they have to go to the bathroom. And somebody's like, I'm very disappointed that I did not see anybody go to the bathroom in part 1. I'm like, oh honey, don't worry, I got you in the next 2 parts.
Oh, I love it.
Because like honestly, no special snowflakes. People are not gonna have perfect skin, and nobody's gonna like not urinate or go to the bathroom. I'm sorry. This is science fiction. Everybody still has bladders.
I want to have people puking too, because that's something that I do frequently.
Puking?
I get sick all the time, and so I want.
Oh my god, no, say like whenever I have migraine, I puke. So I was like, okay, girl, we need to write this stuff in the book. Like no joke.
People in public, they throw up in their English class in front of boys they have crushes on. It happens.
It's a thing, and it has to happen. Okay, so somebody's like, how do you, this is from Belle, how do you get over your writing slumps? Well, Lindsay and I, since we're co-authors, if one of us has a slump, the other one picks it up. And if we both have a slump, we both work around it and not force ourselves to do it.
Yeah, it's true. I don't really, I'm going to take, I think it's Jonathan Mayberry who says this, but I don't really believe in writing slumps. I believe in like inspiration slumps.
Oh, yeah.
I think when you feel like you can't really connect with the character or you can't connect with the world, that there's something missing there. Go back to the drawing board a little and rethink it through. Get on Pinterest, through artwork, listen to music, just do anything to like refill your creative well. And I think you will find that you'll
some inspiration.
Yeah, you'll just be ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, and like Lindsay and I, we have a whole entire board of Zenith on Pinterest, because that's actually how we like based off our characters, and that's how we like kind of imagine worlds. And like I know that when we first started writing Zenith, we're like, okay, first we need to make a Pinterest page. Like some authors that I love their Pinterest pages. Alexandra Bracken, she has a great Pinterest page for Passenger. Oh, what is that?
This is my Ray cup.
Oh my gosh, love Ray. Love it.
BB-8. I want BB-8.
I just got like a Star Wars hoodie the other day because it's like on sale for like $9. I'm like, yeah.
In summer. Crazy.
I know, but like for later, I also got a Christmas sweater because I'm like, I'll save it for later. And it was like Doctor Who, but like also, so like Alexandra Bracken, I know that Sarah J. Maas has an epic one. So like, a lot of authors do this so they can help not just them envision their characters, but help you too envision them. So I just like love the diversity of our characters, and yeah. I'm really proud of like how we have made everybody, even though that was like kind of a mix of both questions. Okay.
Just real quick, look at what the live show like image is right now. Can you see my horror?
Lindsay!
I have to screenshot
I'm
that.
keeping that. I'm keeping that.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god, I love it. Okay, so one of the questions I like is that where did it go? I think that oh, I can hear people. We're having an open house right now, but I said that they could not come in here because we're doing a live show. Okay, so there's like this one question that I really like, but I can't find it. Where did it go? Okay, why did you name Zenith? Oh no, why do you name it Zenith? Lindsay and I love thesaurus. Like, it's our baby. And we just love searching random terms and words. So, like, we were just looking for, like, Zenith means the highest celestial point. And we just thought it sounded cool. And there wasn't any really books named after Zenith because we don't want to take a name of a book that's already out there. I think there's a few books, but not that many. And so we thought that was a good name just because we could incorporate it easily into the book, but also be able to have a cool name that's not long. Like, our original name for Zenith was the Bloody Baroness.
Yes.
And then we used that. We did not discard that at all.
No, that is still Andy's name. That's what she's known as. But yeah, and it's funny because we came up with Zenith as like our title, and we went back and forth with so many titles.
Yeah.
And once we figured out the title, we were like, now we have to like find out why this is our title. But we knew it had to be. Like, it had to be.
Yeah, and like I remember I put it out there that like, what do you guys guess our title is? And you guys were like, oh, Zodiac.
Yeah.
I thought that was a Z. I'm like, no, that's a great name. But there's a book named Zodiac that is like out right now. And we're like, that's the biggest thing. Like with our novel, like I think that we wanted to be different from other books because we know what's out there right now, and there's nothing wrong with having similarities between books. Because every book that you read has similarities with some type of pop culture reference or like, you know, other book reference. But we wanted to be like we want to be different. And if it's okay if you guys think like, oh, Star Wars, this would be a great book for Star Wars fans, because it is. It's a like space opera, like Star Wars has that stuff. But like one thing that we didn't want to directly like copy a name from another book or a title, because like authors work really hard to make their books different, and I think that's what Liz and I did most. We were like, okay, let's make this very different, and I think that we really succeeded, and like I think that people will see that.
I hope so. I really do. I think it's good. It's different, but it also feels there's a familiarity to it.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things that we had to be really careful about a certain book that we didn't copy, that was Lindsay's book, The Murder Complex, because we were like getting like references from it, and like Lindsay wrote this book so long ago, so some of her memory of certain things that happened in it or names and places kind of faded to the background until like it was brought forward because we were discussing what to add next in Zenith. And then she's like, wait, we can't do that, that's a murder complex. And then like I have to watch out for that as well because I've read that book and I loved it and it's in my head. But yeah, so that was fun. That's been a fun experience to be like, what's not like the murder complex? Okay, so do you see any questions that you want to answer? Oh, there's something that's like you guys. So you know how to do those videos. If you like this, then you like this. So now I'm going to do that with Zenith.
Oh, that's a great one. I love that.
I need to figure out something because like all the science fiction books that I've read haven't had space pirates in it. I could do like a hybrid between two books.
If you like Across the Universe by Beth Revis, you will like Zenith. But if you like a darker, bloodier type of story, like there's assassin type stuff, like Throne of Glass. So if you like Throne of Glass and Across the Universe, like kind of hybridized, then you would probably like Zenith.
I would kind of hybridize like
else.
Like I would probably hybridize Across the Universe with Passenger because it's pirates.
Yes, that's true. That is very true.
And yeah, I mean it's
so many.
There's so many. Like honestly, I've read quite a few science fiction books, but what it's more like I think it'll be more easily comparable to some like shows out there because more shows have like those kind of space pirate ideas. So Firefly would be a great show if you would like to watch something that's similar to Zenith, but like so I mean, you have to hybridize 2 books in order to get Zenith, but I feel like a lot of people would like Zenith because it's very much a book that is in your niche.
Yeah, you can find there's action, there's romance,
Mm-hmm.
there's humor, there's a lot of blood.
Oh yeah.
Which is like my favorite thing to add to a story. But then there's also like, I think the cool thing, if you like Truth Witch by Susan Dennard, and she actually gave us an awesome quote for Zenith.
Yes.
Because Truth Witch is like really, really awesome because it centers around female friendships. And I think that's something that's really important that's not covered in a lot of books. And Zenith, like the friendship between the crew, Andy's crew, they're all girls, and there's a really fun like banter that goes on between them at all times. And so
yeah. And for you guys, like, I know that whenever it's like, yeah, girl friendship, like all that stuff, like sometimes I'm hesitant because I'm like, it better be realistic, or because like I have lots of friends, and like if it's not going to be like similar to like how we interact, or like not even how we interact, but like realistic, then I'm going to be like, but so I'm always hesitant sometimes when it goes into that. But like, I think that we did a very realistic approach because Lindsay and I are like best friends. So like we just incorporated how we would talk to each other if we were in this situation. And I think it was kind of fun to do that.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, have you grown as writers through Zenith? And if you did, in what way? Can I talk about you?
Wait, say that again?
Somebody asked, have you grown as writers through Zenith?
Yeah.
I want to talk about you. Lindsay, so I've always thought Lindsay was a great writer. And like after reading like Murder Complex, I thought she's great. But Lindsay, like, not saying Murder Complex is bad or anything, but she's excelled as a writer so much. And like her writing has gone from like good to great to magnificent, and like just seeing her writing style and how it's improved and gotten just so eloquent and amazing has been such an amazing thing, because she wrote like Murder Complex when she was my age, so of course there's big growth. If you didn't grow, it wouldn't be great. Like, you always want to see you improve as an author, and I definitely have seen that with Lindsay. Like, she's become exceptional.
Thank you, that's so nice.
Of course. Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay, I'll get sappy too. Well, like a lot of you know, Sasha, you've read some of her short stories from school. What else? You haven't really put out that much of your writing, but the stuff that you have, like, people have really enjoyed it. And I just have to say that starting out watching her writing has progressed like chapter by chapter. You've become like stronger in your descriptions. Like, it's really cool to watch someone literally write their first novel, because you do grow so much as you're writing your very first book. And even from your first to your second, it's just crazy. Like, you grow so much. And so seeing that, and like, she'll text me sometimes and be like, oh, this book I'm reading has such great imagery. And I'm like, she's picking up on all those writery things, like really applying that to her own.
Yeah. And like, honestly, when I'm like literally looking through our first chapter, I just found our first chapter, like the original one. I'm like, oh wow. Yeah, and like I think that it's also helped writing with Lindsay, because she has kind of taught me what it's like to become an author, and how to word things and how to place things. And like, yeah, I have like my professor at school who helped me do that, but like, they don't write young adult, and they don't, and my professor, he writes like Jewish fiction. So it's very different from what I'm writing. So he's still an amazing professor, but like with Lindsay writing the same thing and having the same ideas, it really helped me grow, because I was able to relate to it so well.
Right. And then we also have like the writing community is very, very close, especially in the YA world. And so we have like a lot of other awesome authors that we can reach out to. Like Danielle Page is wonderful supporter of us. Susan Dennard, Sarah J. Maas, like they're always there to answer an email. Like, I've asked tons of plotting questions before from like some of these authors that are just incredible plotters. And like, again, reaching out to JD, like everyone is always so willing to jump in and just help when we need it. And that's another thing, like, don't be afraid to ask for help when you're stuck with something, because people are almost always more than willing to jump in and kind of lift you up.
Gosh, I just like read like the first like few paragraphs of like the old intro, and I'm like, oh, it wasn't bad. It was just so different, and like, I'm so glad we changed it.
I know, I am too. I'm so proud of it now. Like,
yeah,
I just hope that
I'm really excited. And like, there's just so much more coming, because like some people can see this as like a first book, but really, if you think about it, if you're thinking like, oh, but this stuff hasn't been like really expanded on, just you wait. Like literally, because like when you read as a full book, it'll be so like it'll make so much more sense why this thing wasn't mentioned that like, you know, extremely in the first part because it's mentioned in the second and third. So like it's so much fun being able to do that and kind of like have people wait and be like really agitated almost, but like in the best way possible.
Because like we've been agitated waiting for books that we love. So now like we get to do that to everyone.
Exactly. But luckily we won't be like having you guys wait like another year for the second part. Of course not. Just a few months. Okay, so let's want to do one more question. I think this one's a pretty good one. It says, your characters have such awesome names. How did you choose those names for your characters? And this is from Mila, so thank you, Mila. Okay, how about you? I'll do 2 of the characters, you do 2 of the characters. I'll do Andy because I have a good story for that. And
okay. Well, Dex is
I'll do Andy and Alfie.
Andy and Alfie. Okay, yeah, you have great like origin stories behind those names. Like, I think we literally will be on Skype planning out like what's going to happen in this chapter, and then we'll be sitting there. We'll be like, okay, we have to think of a name for this character. And the thing about like Sasha and I is we cannot write a scene, and we can't even continue plotting unless we have the name for that character.
Yeah, because you have to be able to envision them.
We will spend like 30 minutes. We'll go on baby name websites, or we'll just search like cool sci-fi names and like, or
sci-fi generators.
Yeah, or names in other languages, and we'll literally sit there for like 30 minutes bouncing back and forth, like reading out names, or like like combining names until we get them.
Yeah, exactly. So like for example, like with Andy's name, I was looking at names. I wanted to be inspired by something science fiction. So like I was looking up the constellation names, and I saw the Andromeda constellation.
It was that for a while, and then
it was Andromeda, and then I'm like, no, because I remembered, like, you know, the 5th wave, like, it's Cassiopeia, like, her name, and I'm like, that's, like, I don't want people to think that, like, we took that, so, like, and Andromeda's a great name, but, like, it's kind of a mouthful also, Andromeda, Bracella, so, like, we do not want to have it be a mouthful, and we also want her to have a great nickname, and so that's how we're like, okay, let's cut this down. I still like Androma, and so we cut it down, and we actually had a few different, like, alternate names for Androma, and then we just said Andy, and then we had to figure out, like, Andy, do we do an I-E, a Y, or an I? We figured out I would be best, so that was a great thing that we got to do. And then for Alfie, who you find out who it is at the end of it, so, like, it was fun getting to do that because I wanted to have it be like an acronym almost, but not really because let's be real, like acronyms are great, but they're hard to come up with. So like it was Alfie, artificial life form, and then Dex is like, yeah, I added the IE at the end just because it sounded cool.
Which is totally like how we write our names.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like realistic. It's not like it was like Dex doesn't think out these things like really to the point. He's like, yeah, that sounds good. Let's do it.
Yeah, I love that. And
how about you do Dex because he has another name. That was great what you did.
So, we were writing, and it's a scene between Dex and Andy, and like Dex is like such a hot, cool name. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to like make him so not hot and so uncool for like 1 second of the story. And so Andy calls him by his full name, and it's Dextro. And I was like, that just sounds like, you know, not a really cool, rugged bounty hunter guy. So I just like typed in Dextro and left it as a joke. And then Sasha like found it and loved it. And then we just kept it.
Yeah. So, and I like peed my pants. I was laughing so much.
There will be other like little surprises and Easter egg type things like in the rest of the saga as well.
Exactly. So, and also one more question, because like those are just some of the names that we have really good at origin stories, but like there's somebody who asked, like, do you have, like, a fan cast?
Oh, yeah, we kind of do, actually. We kind of do.
And I know who my fan cast for Nora is. I'm just trying to find the actress's name because she's a Bollywood actress, actually. But I'm forgetting who it is. We may do a blog post about this, like, in a newsletter one time. But I know that, like, there's lots of people that could be these characters. Mm-hmm. Oh, do you know who's actually who's inspired Fallon's like picture? Christopher Mason.
Yes, we were talking about that one day. It's perfect.
Like, he's beautiful. Look him up, Christopher Mason. He's like, he was in Selena Gomez's like music video, but that's not where I found him from. I just was like on Instagram, like stalking hot guys, and he came up. So I was like, wow, he's cute. But like, he also has the right look to him. So and he's a little bit older than Valen, but like, you guys get like what he would look like. So that was really fun. So we'll be doing like a blog post and like a newsletter based off of, like our fan casts.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
That was
Another thing that we want to touch on before we go
yeah.
is the reviewer appreciation thing. That we're going to announce it a little more probably tomorrow, right? Is it
tomorrow.
But basically, you guys, if you will leave a review anywhere for Zenith that you purchased it, like on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, iBooks, anywhere. It doesn't have to be a great review if you didn't like it, but obviously it's appreciated if you did like it. And anyone that leaves a review will be entered to win a really awesome prize. So please do that. It really helps us. Any book that you've liked, actually leave reviews, because it really, really helps the author.
Yeah, and especially on Amazon, like you do not need to purchase the ebook off the Amazon in order to write a review. So Amazon's a great place because that's like what publishers really look at, and we really want to get this book out to you guys for like, you know, in bookstores and stuff, because that's all that like we want for you guys, because we would love that. So if you just like write any reviews, and like the prize would be really cool. It's not going to be like what we did in the past, because the past prizes were pretty cool, like one of Lindsay's books and a lot of Zenith swag, but I was thinking more like apparel or something. So just definitely write reviews. We'll be having that giveaway in a few weeks, because we want to be able to get a lot of people to review it, and then we'll pick, and we may have more than one winner.
Yes, and in talking about apparel, we have something really fun that we're going to reveal also later this week. There's going to be cool reveals like all week for stuff.
Yeah,
so,
very cool.
To our social medias, all that stuff. Yeah, there's a lot coming, you guys, like a lot.
This is amazing. Thank you guys so much for all your support. And Lindsay, thank you for co-authoring with me. Like, guys, this has literally been such an amazing experience for the both of us. And without you guys, this wouldn't have been possible. You guys are our motivation factor, and we love you so much.
Yeah, I'm just so, I can't believe that people are like literally like on board. Like they're for the Marauder, and that's exciting.
I know, and like it's just such an exciting experience. So thank you guys so much, and thanks for joining us on this live show. We'll be doing lots of videos very soon, because Lindsay and I'll be together in just a few weeks.
Yay! And we'll be doing some on my YouTube channel, because I'm trying to
definitely. Her YouTube channel will be linked down below, so go check her out and subscribe.
We love you guys.
Love you. Bye.